All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Video Sunday. So I wanted to take some time. I wanted to spend a little time as a third year, as a senior resident, and then kind of give an update on how it is and what it's like, and if I felt any different than I did as a second year, and then how to handle the workload increase and the stress increase of being in your final year and trying to move forward. So that's what I'm going to do today. That's what we're going to talk about because I think it'll be fun. So I am a month and a half into third year. I'm a month and a half into third year of my final year of residency, and there's some good and some bad to it. So the good things about it, we'll start there, is that it's fun. It's more and more fun as you go by. You start feeling like you can do this. You start feeling like, I can take care of people. And when I get asked questions by attendings, or when underclassmen, like my other residents ask me a question or what to do, or when my nurses have a question on things and actually have the answer, it's kind of a cool feeling. And you get a lot less, I want to say, pushback, because you know a little bit more and you're better at what you do. So third year for us, they start loosening the reins a little bit more. So from a clinic standpoint, as a first year, anytime you saw a patient, you had to staff it with the attending before the patient left the office. Second year, you could see people on your own once you got I don't want to say special clearance, once you got approved. And regardless, at the end of every half day, you still had to sit down with your, with your preceptor and kind of talk over the day. And if they had feedback for you or things you could have done or follow-up that needs to happen at the next visit, they gave you that feedback there. Second year, you're expected to see 6 people in a half day, or 8. 6 or 8 people in a half day. Third year, our schedule per half day gets up to 12 people in a half day, which is pretty similar in medicine. To like normal half day for an attending, like 12 to 13 people, anywhere between 24 to 25 people in a given day is what it seems like the outgoing primary care docs are doing on a day. So 12 people in a half day, and we don't have to see an attending at any point. But we are assigned a chart reviewer, so we're assigned someone to look over the medical note at the end and give us feedback. So, because we're busy, everybody's busy and everything, but we are 12 people in a half day and then trying to get a half an hour away for a rotation or, run to the next part of the office day. Trying to go over 12 people with an attending can take a significant amount of time. So once you've been cleared, or once it's been determined that you're kind of okay, you're allowed to go about your half day and just we get a new doctor every month. We get a new attending every month to review our stuff. And it's really cool because some docs are more focused on medicine, and they're more focused on, we should have thought of this, and that, or why don't you call the patient and get them set up for follow-up sooner because we should probably do this, and you might want to talk about them in person. So that's good. But we do have a couple of attendings in our program who are very billing and coding heavy, which is a great skill to have because undercoding is just as bad as overbilling, and it's all going to be worked into your salary. At the end of the day, are you coding and billing appropriately is going to get you more money. And it's not going to get you in trouble with your office manager, your practice manager, whatever the case may be. So it's good to get kind of both perspectives, and different attendings care about different things a little bit more than others. So you get a pretty good feedback at the end of the month, depending on how you're doing. So that part is cool because you feel more like you got this because you don't have somebody constantly hovering over every little decision you make. While you're still getting cross-checked, and at the end of the day, if you walk out of a patient and you're like, I don't know. There's always 1 or 2 docs in the office you can go talk to, and they are more than happy to give you feedback. So that's kind of a cool thing to have. But it's also really cool that I don't have to do everything. And I get a lot of amazing feedback from my doctors, my attendings, when I send them my medical charts at the end of the half day. So I really look forward to that because I'm like, what can I do to make myself a better doctor? And that only comes from people who are experienced in being in the field. My most recent 6-month eval was pretty good. I still got to work on boards. I'm not not good at it, but I'm practicing to be better at it, and my practice is showing off, so that's good. And so when you get all of that, and when you get in clinical medicine, when you get the reins kind of pulled back a little bit, and you get a little bit more independence, or when you've been studying your butt off for these practice boards, and the studying pays off, and you feel like it's all just kind of lining up to go into your final year. Could I do it? Could I walk into practice right now? No. Do I need another year? Then I'll probably be okay. Yeah. It's a cool feeling, and I feel a little bit more confident. And from talking to my friends and family, they say it's fun to watch over. I don't see it because I live it every day, but I guess I'm doing all right. I mean, they can see that I'm more comfortable with it and more confident in both my medical knowledge and ability to assess somebody. So third year's a neat feeling. In terms of workload, it is. Oh my God, it is so much more. So much more work. I think we had a patient panel that so we had a patient panel. It was about 150 people as a second year that you managed, and I think they bump it up to like 450 people this year, which is like typical. And it's actually not that hard. It's not that bad, but the workload exponentially increases as you go from second year to third year. Because you're in the office more, you're seeing more patients, you're getting more familiar with people who need to come in every couple of weeks, or people you can push off for a year. And, oh my gosh, the number of prescription refills that comes in, or prior authorizations, or prior medical records. And then you have to dig through. I think I have maybe 50 pages waiting for me today of prior medical records I have to go through, and shot records for kids. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's just crazy. And trying to chart, and I hated charting while I was talking to a patient, because I feel like I still feel like it's disrespectful, because I should be like talking to someone and not worrying about typing or doing paperwork. But if I don't, you'll never catch up, and you fall behind, and then you're like, oh my God, I got my 12 charts from the morning to do, but I have to rush out and do my rotation, so it's not like I can sit down and do it all. It's just it's a lot more work that I'm trying to balance and make sure that it gets done in an appropriate amount of time, so I can still go home at the end of the day and just like shut it down. Because I was real bad for a while about always bringing work home with me to do, but now I've made a rule, like, when I check out for the day, if I have to stay an hour late, that's fine. But when I check out for the day at work, like it's done. There's no more work, and I've been okay with that. There's still days where I go home and I fall back in my old habit of, I don't know, taking 4 or 5 charts home with me and still just like finishing it up at night. And it's great, but it's not great. I don't know. I've fallen off the wagon with a couple of other things in my life. I don't go to the gym as much as I used to. I kind of eat like crap anymore, just because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't have an excuse for it. Because as you get more comfortable with medicine, as you get more comfortable going into your next year of as you keep progressing with everything, you should get better at managing your life. And I'm really good at I think, I don't know. I've been told I'm decent at managing, the workload that we do, and my charts are 95% of the time always done before my half day is done. And I'm very efficient in clinic. I'm very quick. I don't mess around with people and junk. So I don't know. But it's still, for some reason, I can't kick this habit of just like really getting it done. So I'm working on that next, and studying, because boards are in less than a year. My God. And starting the job hunt. I know, I think I've said multiple times before that I wanted to do the fellowship in hospital medicine, but I don't anymore. I really sat out and I talked to a couple of people, and people both from our program who've graduated and done inpatient medicine, people who have just, been doctors in general, and then people who aren't from my program who did the hospitalist fellowship. And I kind of took all of that data and all of that input from people, and kind of sat down and thought, like, who do I identify best with? Like, who sounds like my life path that that I can identify with? And ultimately, I think it's the people from my program who went into hospital medicine that say, you're ready by the end of residency, and you just need to get a job. The extra year, I guess not helps. I guess any extra training would help, but I don't think it would help anything exponentially different that I couldn't do on my own. So it's just another year of just being coddled, really, essentially. And I guess, and not making a physician salary and still making a resident salary. So I think at the end of the day, I think by the end of this year, after going through a couple, like 6 weeks of third year, I think by the end of this year, I'll be ready to just start practicing. So I'm going to do a video next time about really how to start the job hunt, because I have zero idea. I have people in my family who are physicians now, but I don't know where to start. I don't know. Do I just go for it? Do I contact a physician recruiter? For a hospitalist, there's always a hospitalist group. Do I contact the physician recruiter from that group? Do I contact an independent physician recruiter? How much do they cost? What do we do? All that is sort of like running through up here. I've had some really good feedback from a couple people, from attendings and people who are currently out in practice. So for anyone out there like starting the job hunt at the end of residency, you're like, God, where the hell do I start? I'm going to try and go through it as I go through it and give whatever pointers and tips and help I can get, so that there's less and less people out there who are like me, who sit here and are like, I don't know where to start. So I'm going to start the job hunt to move out west. I am going to look into a couple of hospitalist groups. I like level 1, level 2 trauma centers. I don't like small community hospitals. I like big centers. I want to see and do everything. And so that's kind of where we're starting. It should be fun. It's going to be scary as hell, but it's going to be fun to go through the job hunt. It's going to be scary as hell, but it's going to be fun to get ready for boards. And all of that, I guess I'll try and talk about, and let other people know how it's going. If you guys have anything in particular you want to see or want to know about, in going into the final year of residency, let me know. If you're in medical school, you want tips for how to deal with the interview process, I think that's several videos below on my channel. So there's some advice there. If there's anything else, you guys let me know. Otherwise, we're going to start the job hunt, and I'm going to tell you about it along the way. All right, thanks for tuning in. I tried to keep this one a little shorter, but I had some cool things to say, and I like to ramble, so obviously you know that by now. But otherwise, have a good day. Happy Sunday, and here we go with another week of trying to get my life together. Okay, all right, bye guys.